We're going to do a review of the very first class. It was introduction, emotion, replying back the second person, and we feeling emotion was hanyo, good, okay, all right. And you're going to you're going to be in sets of twos. You're going to repeat that. And I mentioned to those that were here earlier, language learners, it's always recommended that you repeat it 4 times. So when you get partner up with a buddy, you repeat it 4 times, 2 sets of phrases, then you're going to move to another different partner. And I'm doing that to have fun. I don't want each of you to exchange cell phone numbers or whatever. I'm just kidding. I like to teach in that manner, to have fun, laughter, and don't ask for my number. It's no to for. But anyway, the first time we met, there was quite a few. This room was full. And I introduced myself in the language. There's different ways I mentioned, and the simple one I would use is, don't say my name, because everybody did. It was fun though. And the phrase I started out was, it's always good to shake hands, but now we don't do that, right? We're just like we don't know each other, so we just walk by and.
Where are you going?
Where are you going? What are you gonna do? But it's always recommended from grandparents to shake hands, and that was our tradition. Whether you knew somebody, family member, you do that, you can shake. And if I was maybe 80, 90 years old, and I did not recognize you, and I would say, Nhà Jorigine Mulio, Matbe?
Yeah, Christofferson, Mulia.
Nhà Jorigine Mulio, Matbe?
Hanke,
Quek Mia,
Quet,
Christofferson Mulio.
Christofferson, Mulia.
Nhà Jorigine Mulio, Matbe?
Christofferson, Mulia.
Nhà Jorigine Mulio, Matbe?
Quet, Christofferson, Mulia.
Nhà Jorigine Mulio, Matbe?
Yeah, Christofferson, Mulia.
Got that? 4 times. Then I would say, Gamyu,
Hanke,
Hanyo.
Hanya,
Gamyu,
Hanya,
Gamyu,
Hanya,
Gamyu,
Hanya,
Gamyu.
Hanya.
All right, you better remember that when you partner up with somebody. So, and then you do that with your partner, and that was the appropriate way to meet and greet a relative or a visitor. And it was always good to do that at the elementary. When elders came, they would always knock on the door, and the receptionist would say, come in. And grandma would be standing there just not knowing what to do. Mildred, but then we would see that, and we always went out telling what the receptionist said. So in offices, it's good to say that, greet one another, gamyu. And my past students, excuse me, I always used to say, whatever we did in the language, introduction, greeting, I always used to say, I don't see one in here, one from Enterprise. They used to take classes. because they were to use it at office or at Grand Canyon West. Every time I saw them in our community, I would say that, Kamyu. Mamul Kayukya. That's another way of asking, what is your name? Or, Kamyu, Gatmyu, who are you? My mind might have went blank and I say, Gatmyu. No, just kidding. But anyway, in departments, I did whole phrases of welcoming, asking, and who do you want to see? What can I help you with? But because the elders never heard that, and they were pushing it to council. So I'm starting it, but I don't, at the beginning, there was just more of the community, but it was good. They learned how to say, my name, what is your name, how are you, Hanyo, and then we graduated to Diyeyo, happy. And there's other emotion, feelings, so we'll get to that in a bit. So, did you see the example that I did with Christofferson up here? So what's your first thing you say to your partner? You're going to partner up with somebody. What's the first thing you say? No, you don't say that. But yeah.
Go you and your name. Introduce yourself.
You, Christofferson. Yeah, Jorigine, Mulia, Matbe.
Christofferson Mulia.
Then 4 times of that with your partner, and then you say, Kamyu. That 4 times. Then you switch to another partner. And then after you do the Nyamo, Kamyu, take a drink of your water. I'll say, Han, Sim, Ha. Han, Sim, Bai, Du, Min, Mam, Wow, Ma, Wow, Ma. Gets all dry down here when you talk. So, so your name, what's your name? How are you? Hanyo. Then 4 times each, and then you switch. Don't be shy, we all know one another. Just pretend you're like little boys and little girls. So, take a Han, you didn't get water. Ma, nhiều quam yo. Oh, just to let you know, I was going to make a copy of our original territory so you could, some of them has the band names, so you could look at it and identify which band you are to claim. In our tribe, it was passed on told that we claim our father's side, paternal side. And if there's intermarriage, like the father married a different tribe, then you go to the father's grandfather. It's always on the father's side. How many of you can identify your band? Give me you. Got we go. My back, Cody. My back. Okay. My back. So Wikiup is more like Huxkella. It depends if it's your grandfather or his grandfather, father, Huxkella. Sandy, big sandy area covers that area. So think about it. Matbe Christofferson.
Big Sandy.
Huxkella.
And then I don't know that pine.
Huxkella.
I don't know that pine. Scala.
All right. เดี๋ยวก็จะวิ่งกูอ่ะ Nicholas มันวิ่งกูอ่ะยังไม่อ่ะ That's the now slang. Oh man, I remember all different kinds of slangs. I think Global remembers quite a few of them too. But now everybody says, you know, a different expression. Mia. Then it goes Mia. And then it's extended. Mia. Or it's expressed in a strong, harsh way, like it don't mean anything. You know? Like Mia.
Yeah.
No, it's not. I don't agree with what you're saying. I've heard that a couple of times, and oh my gosh, I don't know what I had coming in my mind. But anyway, that's the slang nowadays. When I first heard it, it was like, Mia is like, the translation for that is language learners to repeat, say it again, Mia, Mia. Or another way to say it is Gowek Mia, Gowek Mia. But the simple way is Mia, Mia. But then I don't know if you say that, they're going to say Mia. And they'll start laughing. But when I first heard that, it was like that, Mia. And I was like, I don't know if I was asked to repeat what I presented in the language, or it sounded funny. For language learners, when they're trying to say the Hualapai word within themselves, their very first word, they say it sounds funny to them. Then they giggle and say Mia. But I found out that taking a linguistic class, it's hard if you're for a language speaker to say a couple of the sounds in the indigenous vocabulary. Because a lot of them, like the Navajos, I'm not trying to make fun, Lobo, they make all that dumb sounds, and like it comes out on the sides of their mouth. And there's another language that make that clicking sound. I tried doing that, but it's really hard. A learner to learn that. But they make a lot of clicking sound. It sounds like insects getting together. But it was their language. But just letting you know, it's fun to learn, and I don't know how many of you can make that Q sound in our language. It's the sound is made down deep right here, coming out. Like the word for to swallow a pill, an aspirin, to swallow a gum. Some little kids do that. They swallow their chewing gum, and then they would ask, "Minyal ka? Minyal ka?" See, it's a little bit hard, but you'll learn We'll go through that with the Q sounds. So, all right, we're gonna use that die motion feeling sound. So I'm gonna say it, and you repeat. Man mitnya, man mitnya, man mitnya, man mitnya. Don't record it in your mind. Magwawa, man mitnya. Dieo, 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 nyach dieo, nyach dieo, nyach dieo, nyach dieo, nyach dieo, mahanga. Every time individuals hear the word nyach, they always think of this color. And they get confused whether is this person speaking of the color black or himself. So to better understand that is to use the color nyach, introduction to nyach. So with that feeling, emotion, dieo, dieo, man mitnya, dieo, and then dieo. And then I'm going to say a simple phrase with yakayucha, nyach, nyukwai nyach. When I say nyukwai nyach, nyukwai refers to either a shirt, a blouse, a jacket, not the color, it refers to a color of what you're wearing. I'll say nyukwai nyach can refer to pants, shirt, blouse, jacket. When I say that, nyukwai nyach, mesquija, mesquija, everybody stand up. Nyukwai nyach, mitnya, nyukwai nyach, nyukwai nyach, nyukwai nyach, nyukwai nyach, nyukwai nyach, mesquija, 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 mahanga, wamyo. Some of you, when I say mesquija, it almost sounds like mesquija, almost sounds like squeeze me. But I don't want you to be squeezing anybody. The squeeja is a plural form of squee. Squee is only one person. If you know the name of an individual that is wearing the color black, you can either say Jalen mesquee, nyukwai nyach, nyukwai kwa, nyukwai nyach, nyukwai kwa, man mitnya, ma nyukmawa Jalen. Okay, so if I was to say that, and that's the phrase to remember, name and then nyukwai nyach, nyukwai kwa. Or I said first, Jalen, Mesqui. Jalen, như quay nhach, như quay quả. Man mít nha. Michia. Quen Michia. Michia. Oh, awesome. Sounds like you're singing. Nhưng more. See the difference? Mesqui is one. But if I say mesquija, everybody. Then there's another vocabulary for that. Mikichkaiva. It's more than what we have here. A lot of people. Mikichkaiva. Mikichkaiva. But right now we're referring to color and mesqui, nyekwai nyach, nyekwai kwa. So that's the word, the color word, and squee, nyekwai kwa. Next class, you say that to somebody. Maybe they'll be wearing pink and nobody will stand up. Then we can go to mahnyo. Mahnyo. But you don't say mahnyo nyekwai kwa. Because the mahnyo is shoes. It don't go on your body. It goes on your feet. So when we say mahnyo, if nobody wore the color black shirt or whatever, then you go looking at the shoes. Mahnyo nyach, mahnyo ikwa. Mahnyo nyach. Mahnyo nyach. Mahnyo ikwa. Mahnyo ikwa. A lot of times you really, when you listen to the speakers, a lot of times you don't hear that H sound. Sometimes it's silent, unaspirated, or aspirated. So for learners, we have to express it so they can say, oh yes, she said that H sound. Mahnyo ikwa. Just think of the word ma. Okay, all right. Or some people use it for ma. The end, biamja. Or the end, put it away. But yeah, we'll do that. Nyekwai and mahnyo. We'll stick with the color black. Or if they all don't wear black, you can look at their hair. Kawao nyach. Kawao. See that kawao has that Q sound. Kawao. If you put your pointer at your throat and say that kawao, it's right up here. Kawao. A lot of times learners make that g sound, but it's really k, kawao. If you say guao, it's talk, language. So you can't say guao nyach. No. That means a whole different thing. I'm not going there. But anyways, nhau kayo ba? Nhau kayo ba? We could say that, but if we were telling an elder, ask for the time, the elder would say again, "Goek, Mia, Mia." Then you have to think of your numbers. Sita Wakamuka Hopasadap. What else? The spare, wak spare, muk spare, how tui buav. Buav sit jal, buav wak jal. So it is buav wak, buav hopak, muk spek jal. But we can understand what Jackie said. So it's very tricky, our number. The word for 2000 is Buwav Juwav Buwav Huaka. Buwav Juwav Huaka. Buwav Juwav Buwav Huaka. Buwav Hopak Chi'ala. 2024. It's really, if you really sit down and do your counting, it's fun. It's just adding, the Buwav. Then Chi'ala is one that's up like this, left over, peeking out. Okay, Meta, I'll tell you how to say that. If anybody can leave early, Mahan Gyam Jaya. That's plural. Mahan Gyamaya. Yamaya. Mahan Gya. You say what you're going to say next class. You can say that, Hanja. Nyach, remember the color. Nyach. Nyagwai. Manyo. Nyagwai kwe. Manyoi kwe. Clothing and shoes. Shoes. So remember that. Nyach. If you know the individual's name, you can say Justin, Nyquai Nyach, Nyquai Kwa. Cody, Nyquai Nyach, Nyquai Kwa. Nicholas, Nyquai Nyach, Nyquai Kwa. Hey, all right. Okay, Ma, remember that word and the phrases. Mahan kyo mavatma. Hi, mawam,